Okay, this is a routine or whatever bit that has been requested multiple times, and I am in the mood to check it out right now, so that's what I'm going to do. It's Steve Hughes live at the Apollo London full. I've seen one Steve Hughes video so far. I liked what I saw. He was pretty dang funny. I loved his accent too. So I'm curious to check this out. It's a little on the longish side, more than 12 minutes. And hopefully my computer won't get too hot or anything like that. I don't think it will. Maybe it'll hold out okay. We'll see. But if I feel like it's getting too hot, I'll turn the fan on and fix the audio, and hopefully you won't be able to hear it too much anyway. So okay, let's go ahead and jump right into this. This is definitely more recent, looks like.
London. All right, excellent. How are you? My name's Steve. I'm from Australia, actually. Some of you probably been to Australia, or some of you probably thought about going to Australia, and then how long does it take to get there? 27 hours.
Wow.
Plane. 27 hours in a tube of farts. That's the reality none of you really want to, take on board, but that's what's really happening. You're sitting there for a day and a half with 600 other people eating airline food. I'm telling you, someone's farting. You understand? You get to Australia, you think you got jet lag. I'm just telling you, it's not jet lag. You understand? Yeah, you've been basting. It's a ridiculous distance for any place to be on Earth, for God's sake. The next stop is the moon. That's what it's like growing up there. You're standing there all the time going, what's the rest of the world doing? What are they up to? Can we join in? No.
Oh.
Well, why not? Because it's a 12 hours drive to the airport. Sit down. And there's no one there. It's a continent twice the size of Europe. There's 22 million people there. That's no one. Do you understand? There's no one there. You want to see a queue in Australia? That's it. And they think it's crowded. You know what I'm talking about? And I've been to Mumbai in India. 28 million people, one city. That's crowded.
Yes.
That's traffic.
Way too crowded.
Try putting health and safety regulations on these people. Yeah, they're selling raw chickens on a piece of cardboard in the sun. It's a brilliant place. We're always told in the West that we live in the free countries, but I don't know if that's necessarily true all the time because, freedom is a multifaceted construct. Which extends beyond political ideology. Yes. And I've been to Mumbai, and you can do whatever you want. You don't break the law, you do whatever you want. You want to sell some socks on a bridge? Sell some socks on a bridge. Where's your shop, mate? Here.
Oh, geez.
What do you want? I've got 3 socks, a battery, and a hand grenade. You want it? Brilliant. You want to hang out of the train? You hang out of the train. Get on the roof.
They do whatever the heck you want.
You want to go to the doctor? You don't have to go to the doctor. Why? There's an old bloke in the street with medicine. You have to run around and wait in the queue and ring up. Can I get an appointment, see a doctor and get a prescription? No, you buy it off this bloke in the street. And my mate in North London, he goes to me, you'd buy medicine off an old Indian bloke in the street. So I went, for sure. Yes, why? I said, I'll tell you why, mate. Because he's 300 years old, he's got one tooth and he lives in a bin. He's still alive!
He just looks 300. He's probably very young.
He knows shit. Should I trust him or some bloke in Muswell Hill with 6 mortgages? But it's good to be here. Hammersmith Odeon. I know it's the Apollo, but I call it the Odeon because I'm old school. I grew up, Motorhead, no sleep till Hammersmith. No sleep till Hammersmith Odeon. Exactly. Old school. That's what it is. I used to play in heavy metal bands, see? That's why I had to leave Australia, because it doesn't like that kind of stuff. And I never suited Australia. It's a weird place for me to grow up in. My parents are British, and it's just strange being a white man in a black man's country in the middle of Asia. And the culture's strange. I never suited it, It's all based around sport and racism. And, I wasn't very good at either of them. I didn't know what to kick, you know. And, And so I played in bands. I played here, actually, in 1989, in a heavy metal band. And I love all forms of heavy metal. I love heavy metal, thrash metal, black metal, death metal, and Enya, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you think, it's a bit of a joke. It's not a joke. Most of you haven't listened to Slayer for 8 hours in one day. And, you know, you get up to that type of nonsense. You do need something to relax in the afternoon. I did that joke in London one night at the Comedy Store, and this big geezer stands up. He goes, "I bloody hate Enya."
I'm offended.
You hate Enya? That's a bit intense. George Bush is alive. Yeah, George Bush, Dick Cheney, Condoleezza Rice, Tony Blair, Donald Rumsfeld, Henry Kissinger. See, these are globalist demons. And this is Enya.
Well, everybody has their personal taste.
I mean, if you're going to hate positively. How can you be upset with Enya? Really, it's just silence coloured in.
That's a good way to put it.
That's all it is, like being upset with a waterfall. Looking at a flower open and go, "That's disgusting." And recently, we had a brilliant time. Recently, I just did a comedy gig at a heavy metal festival in Derbyshire called Bloodstock. And to tell you people the truth, I don't even know why they bothered getting comics to do the festival, because what they've done, like most things, have become corporate. They stuck a theme park, like rides, within the confines of the ground so people would have something to do besides bands, right? But that made me think, why did they even bother getting comedians? Because I've got to tell you, people, there is nothing funnier than a goth on a dodgem. You understand? Get it?
Okay, hold on. What's a dodgem? Is that the name for a certain type of ride over there? I mean, I'm assuming that's kind of what he's talking about, but I'm not sure what type of ride that is. So the first thing I thought was maybe bumper cars, but that doesn't seem like it by the way he's doing his body motions and everything. So let me know what the heck that is.
And they got us out of London for the weekend because that was the time you were having your riots running around. Yeah, it was funny. Just listening to the reporting, that's what I found funny. Just listening to them going, "Look at them! Looting! Bloody looters! Running around looting." Going, yeah, well, you know. You ever been to the British Museum? So. Where'd you get that Sphinx from? Norwich? Is that your pyramid? Yeah, we found it in the Cotswolds. It's under a hedge. Who'd have thought? You would never have a museum if you didn't go looting. You come to the British Museum and look at our squirrel exhibit. Put it in the Spitfire, make it look more interesting. You help yourself to a Yorkshire pudding on the way out. There you go. You know what I mean? The lies we're inflicted with in the 21st century, the war on terror to me is the ultimate one. How can you have a war on terror? What are you talking about? This doesn't even make sense.
Like the war
When's
on
this going to
poverty.
end? When they've got the terror. Relax, it's all gone. We're moving on to horror next. And get those goths out of the dodgem for starters. This is insanity. You can't have a war on terror. Are you having a war on terror, are you? That's right. What does war create? Terror. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So you're having a war against the consequence of the actions you're involved in.
Uh,
Yeah, but ours is good terror. It's good, peace, freedom-loving terror, Kind of like terror light,
terror light.
Sort of a diet terror.
Okay.
Sort of I can't believe it's not terror, And then we deal with that. And then next, what do we deal with? Well, this is all happening. Oh, by the way, the planet's broken. It's all warmed up. And, yeah, we have to fix it. Because we've broken it. And, we've done tests. Who has? Experts. Who are they? Oh, don't worry about it. They're here. What are you talking about? I don't even believe in it. People freak out. What do you mean you don't believe in it? I don't believe in it. You have to believe in it. It's the law. Well, it's not yet. I'm sure it will be. But until then, no. Why should I believe in it? What are you talking about? They're running around the world, dropping depleted uranium all over the earth, sitting there letting nuclear weapons off underneath the sea, and the rest of us, what are we going to do? Sit at home with a special light bulb and a shopping bag for life.
Oh, geez. That's funny.
That's what you have to do. And at the end of the day, while all this goes on, what else is happening? Well, the X Factor's on the news. This is not normal. It's a TV show. Why is it on the news? It's not normal. When I grew up, The Price is Right wasn't on the news. No, this is not news. This is rubbish. And I'm here to tell you people, being English, the X Factor, what have you done? You should be ashamed of yourselves. You should stop it. I know all countries around the world now have got this kind of stupid shows, but you, especially, America, they're too far gone. Doesn't matter about them. You, what are you up to? You can't have the X Factor. You can't watch the X Factor. This is England. You made Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Venom, Motorhead, Def Leppard, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones, the Who, the Beatles, the Smiths, the Cure, the Damned, the Jam, the Police, the Sex Pistols, the Clash, Peter Gabriel, Kate Bush, Jarvis Cocker, David Bowie, Queen, Pink Floyd, Radiohead, Supertramp, Chemical Brothers and The Prodigy. And if you're watching The X Factor after a resume like that, I'm just telling you, you're a bit of a bastard. That's all. You've been absolutely glorious. Hope you have an excellent time. See you later. Cheers.
Okay, you guys, that felt like that went by very quick. Oh, okay. What the heck? Okay, hold on. What the heck? Wait. What's that? Oh, okay. It was just a weird way I paused it. I thought they made like crashed faces or something. That was funny. Okay, so something that I appreciate about him is that he, Steve Hughes, he doesn't mind taking on either side of, like, let's say, the political sort of spectrum. He seems to be someone who is an absolute centrist as far as stuff like that goes, making jabs at both the right and the left in his little routine here. And he's funny. I find myself kind of becoming more and more of that mindset, where you're just cynical about kind of both sides, in political debate and stuff like that. And it's funny because, when you're in that position, one side thinks you're the other and the other side thinks you're the other. It's just the way it is. But that's politics and stuff. It's just, but he's touching on things like that. And he just has a very dry sort of humor that I appreciate. And a lot of it, of course, is his delivery and his facial expressions and his accent, which I love. Um, he looks like he was somebody that was in a heavy metal band. He's just got that stereotypical look about him. I'm not really into heavy metal. Um, Pretty much almost all of the bands and singers that he listed off as such great musical talents, they're not like, I like David Bowie a little as far as his, I know it's Bowie, but I say Bowie. As far as some of his music, but I'm never not really a huge fan of his music. I feel like the Beatles are overrated. Woo, the hate comments are going to come. Um, and just I'm not much, like I said, into metal. That's just not really my thing. Um, but anyway, I could see him doing something like that. He is got a way of looking at things that I appreciate, and I think a lot of comedians are like that. They poke fun at so many different things, social issues, political issues, and at the same time, it's good that they do that because it kind of, I feel like it kind of helps keep people a little grounded in reality at all this, bickering and back and forth and all the tribalism basically that we engage in society. I mean, we all do it to some degree or another. It's not necessarily totally a bad thing, but a lot of times it can become a bad thing, especially when it pits people against each other all the time. And it's just, I feel like it's not very healthy to be so firmly rooted in things like that. And I think it's a good thing that um, comedians push the boundaries of um, basically mocking stuff like that, which in a lot of ways needs to be mocked. I mean, we need to sort of take separate ourselves a little bit from certain things and sort of look at it from this perspective that they're trying to introduce to us. But anyway, that's just the way I look at it, and I feel like, as I've mentioned before, I feel like comedy is starting to. That I'm afraid it's almost going to become an endangered species because people are going to be so afraid of, or maybe not necessarily that comedians are going to be afraid to stand up and say some of the stuff that they say, but that maybe venues will be afraid to have them. Shows, they'll bring on these tame comedians, ones that aren't nearly as funny, because to me, the ones that are the most hilarious are the ones that say things that can seem, borderline offensive, but then, being offended is very subjective. So, whatever. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of people who get on that bandwagon of being offended by so many things. And anyway, it's good for us to laugh more at stuff, as I've said before. So, okay. Well, I think I'm a little bit, my brain is a little bit dried out right now. Can't think of any more commentary to add to this one. So I'm going to wrap it up. And depending on what time is it, don't know if I've got time to check out something else. As of the recording of this, it's almost 11:30 Saturday night, and some Batman movies are coming on Toonami tonight. So I'm going to watch them with my son. So I don't have a whole lot of time left. It might be that all I've got left is the only time I've got left for is just to maybe check out a trailer or something. I don't know. Okay. All right. That's all for now, you guys. Later.